Chapter 2. We are getting really louder.
Okay, so everybody was drinking Evocus, the alkaline water. Yes, water, in Somchai's room as Dominic brought it to everyone. Jumbo, still looking at that weird Milky Way textured, self-moving, slime-type thing, widened his eyes and was shivering as he was feeling chills by seeing it. Dominic saw this all. He took that slimy dark thing in his hand and threw it outside the balcony and said to Jumbo, "Don't be so seriously conscious about such stupid things," he said as if it was nothing so special at all. As the night was becoming darker, the enjoyment of these guys also increased, and it went more than from what we call a hangout to a kinda hangover. No alcohol consumption, only Evocus. Dominic, with a pink lollipop in his right hand, was rubbing all his 4 fingers, except the thumb, upon Somchai's blonde head with his left hand. Somchai was sitting on the carpet with him, against the white bed, and was laughing loudly. 8 or S.I.S.M.O was laid down on the ground on his stomach by Hiroshi. Both his hands were firmly gripped by Hiroshi by his left hand, and his left leg was also upon 8's or S.I.S.'s back so that he could not stand up. Whenever Hiroshi was pulling 8's hand in any direction, he was screaming in a very pitched voice like a girl who is screaming out of fear in a horror movie, which was so different from his real voice, which is actually Horace. Hiroshi seemed to enjoy this very much, and each time 8 screams, he used to say, "Haha, you are screaming like a girl. That's so fun." 8 was looking at him with an irritated and death stare. Randy was sitting on the white bed, against which Somchai and Dominic were sitting, on the carpet, was giving roars of laughter. He was demanding Hiroshi to do more than he was doing with 8, and asked for more Evocus too with the exclamations, "Give me more drink." Jumbo was sitting on Randy's left on the bed and was acting like an in charge who is responsible for giving drinks. Like a bartender. He was laughing too. Dom's licking and sucking on his lollipop was making kissing sounds, and he was demanding more Evocus in the middle of 8's screams. Okay, so where did this boy 8, or S.I.S.M.O, full name, come from? When the night was getting darker, these boys' laughter, especially Randy's and Hiroshi's, was so loud that Vaishnavi, sleeping in her room, woke up from her sleep. Angrily she walked upstairs from where the loud noises were coming. The room from which the noises were coming was just above her room. When the room's door came into her view, she saw Hannah, standing outside the same room, just about to knock at the door when Vaishnavi called her from behind and asked her what was she doing there, and Hannah told her that Akira woke her up to check into that same room due to some reason, obviously due to noises, and meanwhile 8 was passing by that corridor from the washroom. He saw Hannah standing outside Somchai's room and asked her what was going on. Vaishnavi explained him everything, and 8, without even knocking the door, entered the room.
They saw Dominic, Randy, Hiroshi and all were hanging out with Evocus in their hands. After they explained everything to those 3 standing outside, Hannah seemed so excited, and asked whether she could join them too, but Somchai disagreed by saying, "Hey, cousin, look, it's a boys' hangout and you are not allowed." Neither Vaishnavi is. "Yes, 8 may be allowed as an uninvited guest, but not you both, sorry." Hey, he answered politely. "You're the worst, Mr. Adams," said Hannah in reply, but as stated earlier, he don't give a fuck. Somchai just don't usually care about things which have been said bad about him, and that's the gesture in him which Dominic, who is his best friend, likes the most in him. He just smiles with his deep dimples. After that 8 joined them too, and now there were not 5 but 6 boys in the room who were exclaiming and laughing so loudly that all those rooms which were close or in touch to that particular room can easily hear those laughters and screams of 8, drinks and cheers and whatever weird sounds. Sylvia was sleeping in her room too, but she too woke up in the middle of her sleep due to such loud exclamations and voices coming from that room. She slowly blinked her eyes 3 to 4 times, then sat on her bed slowly from the sleeping position, while the loud voices and screams and laughters could still be heard. Slowly she took her phone from under the white drawer on her bedside, checked the time in it, which says 12:35 a.m. with a Rubik's Cube lock screen. The lock screen asked for a pattern to unlock, but Sylvia switched it off again. "Who are these people who has gone on high this late night?" she murmured to herself in her sleepy voice. "Someone on high?" she continued murmuring while the exclamations and noises could still be heard. She became quiet, scratching her head, so as to hear more clearly who actually was shouting in such enjoyment at this time this midnight. As she became more quieter she heard clearly, Randy exclaimed haha, fun. Dominic, in middle of his kissing sounds, said yeah, that's really good man. You were right. Some guy said hey. Yes bro, good. All this along with that girl's loud cries, of course of aid, but it could not be recognized by her, after which Jumbo demanded do more. Hiroshi was laughing loudly while the girlish screams still continued. Sylvia couldn't believe what she was listening to. She tried to hear more clearly and slowly she stood up from her bed. She heard give me more drinks, which was Dominic's voice. Here. Take it, replied by Jumbo's voice.
Drinks? Boys laughing? But late night. A girl screaming, she thought to herself and widened her green eyes in her dark room. She made everything up too quickly in her mind and couldn't believe it. She felt a cold zigzag ran through her spine. For a moment she was just so stunned in wonder and shock. Then with a sudden reaction she turned her head from left to right, opened her bedside white drawer and from inside, while Jumbo's pearls of laughter could be heard, she took out her salt supply,